God's beautiful enough, because he loves us more than we do, that he is giving us a fast track to understand our position. And he's educating us, and he's allowing us to understand things, and we're assimilating information and spiritual knowledge quickly so that we can be intelligent about what we're doing and who we are as a people. I called the churches in California for film and television that work with the entertainment industry and the ministries that work with the entertainment industry to entertainment intelligence, because we have such a weird dualism that happens in the church where we're like, half the church says it doesn't even really like TV in their homes, but they have one anyways. I hate that boob tube. I hate TV, but the average Christian family spends 5 hours a day in front of the TV. And yet we have this weird thing that says, I hate it, but it's a love-hate relationship. And we have a love-hate relationship because we misunderstand the value of television, because 6% of what's on television is corrupt. And so we take that 6% and say, that thing has, a dead fly in a perfume makes you not want to use the whole bottle, right? Well, a dead fly on TV causes you not want to use the whole TV. And so instead of us as Christians going, let's look at what God is doing and what the world is doing that's celebratable and focus on that. Like the early childhood development stuff on cable networks, there's never been anything like it. I mean, parents who have no intelligence on how to parent their children, the TV is teaching their children things that they should be teaching them at 2 and 3 and 4. And we don't even look at that because we're afraid to let our children watch television at 2 and 3 and 4 because we're like, they're just going to watch SpongeBob and get hyper, And there's so much good on TV, and if only 6% is bad, but I usually have statistics, but there's hundreds of channels, and there's more education on TV right now than there has been in history all put together in this generation. I mean, it's just incredible how fast you can assimilate heart culture. You can learn how to build a house. You can learn how to cook the best culinary dishes in the world. You can learn how to, travel to the best destinations on a budget. You can learn so much. You can learn how to plan a wedding that's an epic wedding that you would have never had access to. You would have only been able to go to, your little Holiday Inn Express and get married if it was just up to you. But all of a sudden you can plan an epic wedding because you've watched it on TV. There's all these incredible tools that God's imparting right now through television, through media. And the church has this dysfunctional relationship to entertainment and media, so we need entertainment intelligence. And then entertainment companies form in the church that are trying to serve the world, but they really have an ulterior motive of serving the church, but they won't admit that because they're afraid to say, I'm trying to evangelize the world, but I actually want to do a Christian movie at the same time. They're afraid to say that. It's just a really awkward relationship we have in entertainment. Well, we've had this awkward relationship to education, but we graduated. We had this awkward relationship to politics, but we graduated. And I remember one of the statistic analysis groups, the Barna Group, did a study on how many ministries there are in education and politics and business, and they found tens of thousands of ministry in every genre, and especially the church, obviously. Except for in the entertainment industry, they can only find 400 ministries worldwide. And it shows you how little intelligence there is in the church towards entertainment, where people are still going, I don't know if video games are okay. I think they're all evil because they're all violent, which is totally untrue. And a study of Yale showed that video games themselves, that kids learn faster through playing 7 minutes of video games than 7 hours of school. And seminar studies. As a matter of fact, human beings learn more through a 10-minute interview-style assimilation of information than they do through a whole presidential address. And so we as the church haven't looked at that at all with any intelligence and said, maybe we should do interviews in the church, or maybe we should do, some of you might have a church that does that, but most churches don't, unless you're more of a seeker-friendly or postmodern church, which I think they're doing an excellent job of this. But most churches won't do this because we still think talking for 2 hours is the goal. You will only retain 5% of what I've said today. Why am I even talking to you? And you'll all hear something different from what I said. Some of you will focus on the watch. Some of you will focus on the incentives. Some of you will focus on the entertainment intelligence. But not any of you in this entire room will take away all of the points that I've studied and prepared for you. Some of you will take that point away, then that's all. So we're behind in some of our intelligence, and part of the reason we're behind is because we don't have a relationship to that part of the world yet, and we need one.